The Tale of Benjamin Bunny is a children's book written and illustrated by Beatrix Potter, first published by Frederick Warne & Co. In September 1904, the book is a sequel to The Tale of Peter Rabbit and tells of Peter's return to Mr. McGregor's garden to retrieve the clothes he lost there during his previous adventure. The story opens with Benjamin Bunny sitting on a bank by a road. Benjamin hears a gig coming down the road. In the gig are Mr. McGregor driving. Mrs. McGregor sat beside him in her best bonnet, meaning the couple are surely going out for the whole day. Benjamin then sets off to go and see his cousin, Peter Rabbit, who lives with his family in a burrow under a large tree at the end of the woods near Mr. McGregor's garden. As he journeys to his family's home, we learn through a conversation between Benjamin and himself that Peter Rabbit has recently been in trouble for sneaking into Mr. McGregor's garden. While Benjamin quite likes visiting the garden, he's certainly not keen on spending any length of time in there if Mr. McGregor is around. When he gets to his family's home, he decides not to ask his Aunt Josephine or other cousins Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail where Peter is, as he knows they would all grass him up to their mother if they knew. Instead, he goes looking for Peter around the tree and finds him sulking on the other side. Peter is only wearing a red handkerchief, and he tells Benjamin that his jacket and shoes are being used as a scarecrow in Mr. McGregor's garden. He wants to get them back, but is scared to go into the garden as Mr. McGregor might be lurking about. Benjamin asks Peter why he didn't do what his mother told him and stay away from the garden. Peter replies that he couldn't help himself as he saw the gate open and closed in. Benjamin informs Peter that both the McGregors will be out, probably for the whole day, so they could sneak into Mr. McGregor's garden and retrieve the clothes Peter lost there in The Tale of Peter Rabbit. Peter is still apprehensive, but eventually agrees. The cousins go into the garden, however, not under the gate like Peter did last time, but by climbing down a pear tree. They find the blue jacket and brown shoes on the scarecrow, which Peter puts on. Unfortunately for Peter, the jacket has shrunk in the rain last night, and the shoes have water in them when they are taken off the scarecrow. Benjamin finds a tam o' shanter hat on the scarecrow as well, and does try it on, but the hat is too big for him. Benjamin suggests they take some onions from the garden to give to Peter's mother as a present to get on her good side. Peter is terrified of lingering in the garden, fearing that Mr. and Mrs. McGregor might return, but Benjamin is right at home telling Peter that he and his father, known as Old Mr. Bunny, come to the garden every Sunday to get lettuces for lunch. After gathering the onions, Benjamin agrees that they can go. Round a corner, however, they see a cat and hide under a basket. But the cat is drawn to the smell of onions and sits on top of the basket, trapping the pair for 5 hours. Just as Benjamin starts to lose hope that anyone will come to rescue them, Old Mr. Bunny enters the garden, presumably searching for his son. He whips the cat and surprises it so much that she doesn't fight back. After locking the cat in the greenhouse, he finds his son Benjamin and nephew Peter, and is glad they are safe and unharmed. However, is furious they left him worried, and whips both rabbits very hard, making them cry. Old Mr. Bunny then takes the cat out of the greenhouse and returns to the pair, who are now hiding in the potato patch. He pushes them both into a sack and carries them home. When Peter gets home, he gives the onions to his mother, who forgives his adventure because he has managed to recover his lost jacket and shoes. Then he and Cottontail fold up the pocket handkerchief. Their mother strings the onions and rabbit tobacco from the ceiling. The next day, Mr. McGregor is puzzled by the ridiculously small footprints in his garden, the scarecrow's missing clothes, and the cat locked in the greenhouse. He wonders if a mouse or a field vole has been in the garden, but dismisses this thought as there was no damage to the crops and nothing was eaten. He walks around the garden, finding nothing else of interest, and closes the gate to go and tend to his chickens. So that concludes the story of The Tale of Benjamin Bunny. Did you enjoy this story? If you did, then I highly recommend checking out The Tale of Peter Rabbit. And before I read that story, just like the last video, I want you guys to write in the comments who your favorite character is and why. Also, please subscribe to show support. Now back to the video. Peter Rabbit was the first book in the series featuring this beloved mischievous rabbit. It was published in 1902, the same year as The Tale of Benjamin Bunny. Peter Rabbit lived with his mother and 3 sisters, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, under a large tree at the end of the woods near Mr. McGregor's garden. His mother warned him not to go anywhere near the garden, warning him that Mr. McGregor might catch him. However, one day, seeing the gate was open and no one was around, He slipped in and began eating the lettuces and radishes. After an hour or so, he heard the sound of footsteps, and seeing the gate was shut, he jumped over the wall and ran away. He ran through the woods until he came across a cozy hole to hide in. A little while later, he heard a voice saying, "Who's been digging with my spade?" Startled, Peter hopped out of his hiding place and began to run again. The voice belonged to Mr. McGregor, who had spoken to himself. Relieved, Peter went back to the hole, but it was now occupied by a family of badgers. He then climbed up a tree and fell asleep. He was awakened by a terrible cracking noise and looked down to see Mr. McGregor pulling up the tree to make a bonfire with it. Fearing he would be caught, Peter jumped down and ran. He was chased by Mr. McGregor, who was wielding a rake all around the garden until Peter fell into a watering can. Peter stayed still, hoping Mr. McGregor wouldn't see him, and luckily he didn't. Once the coast was clear, Peter made his way to the wall, but to his horror, it had been pushed over. Realizing he was trapped, Peter put on the coat he had seen hanging on the wall, pulled his red handkerchief over his head to act as a hat, and started to dig a hole. An hour later, he broke through to the other side and stumbled out, exhausted, into the woods. He came across a nearby burrow and went inside, where he found a family of rabbits, including a rabbit he knew. He explained to them how he had been chased by Mr. McGregor and asked if he could stay with them until his own mother came to collect him. The rabbits agreed, and after Peter had told them stories about his adventures, they all fell asleep. Peter awoke in the morning and went to look for his mother, but she didn't seem to be anywhere. Luckily, he soon heard the sound of his name being called, and he ran to her, throwing his arms around her. She was furious with him for wandering off and not staying put until she collected him, and also scolded him for getting his coat dirty. After she calmed down, she took him home and gave him a bath. His 3 sisters had been worried sick, and they were all glad to have him back safe and sound. And so ends the tale of Peter Rabbit. Now check out this playlist for more children's stories. Until next time.